amazing.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
It feels like the middle of nowhere, but it's only an hour away from the city.
You can see why the Māori people think this is pretty sacred land, though. Look how lonely and kind of isolated it is out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people consider this part of the coastline extremely spiritual and very haunted at that. There it is, guys. Let's head down to Whārapu, our next ghost hunt mission. Wow.
This place is amazing.
We are not in Kansas anymore, team.
It's so calming, and the breeze and the sound of nature.
Oh, yeah, you might not be saying that once it gets dark, though. You'd be changing your tune then.
My knees might be knocking.
Uh-huh.
From a paranormal perspective, this place is an absolute treasure trove. For a start, the lodge is apparently haunted by an apparition they refer to as the Pink Lady. Perhaps she was one of the original owners back in the days when it was a timber mill. And then this site is also home to New Zealand's biggest shipping disaster, the sinking of the Orpheus. So this coast has taken a lot of souls, and even the Māori believe it to be part of the spiritual highway. So I'm really looking forward to the guys getting in there tonight and exploring and seeing what they can find. Okay, gang, I'm going to show you a few photographs, which is what has brought us here. Now, you've got a series of photographs that are what I call the melting mirror sequence. And what it was a guest who was staying here actually commented that they felt that time had stopped and that they were being sucked into a vortex. I mean, that was actually their words at the time. And they were so... It is, and they were so moved by it that they just had to take photographs on the spot, and that's what they came up with. Those photos are quite disturbing. It's like a Salvador Dali type of painting, you know, everything melting, clocks melting, and that sort of thing. The last couple of photographs you've got are to do with the fact that some people consider that Whātapu, the name Whātapu, is actually a bastardisation of Te Wāhi Te Pua, which is Māori for place of demons. And those photos were taken by trampers who were out here late at night.
Starting to feel less peaceful and calm now, I must admit.
Yeah, they look like demonic images, don't they? Carolyn, you're going to be wandering through the lodge.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't sound very scary, but...
No, well, all these photos were taken at the lodge.
They were indeed. Mr. Hollows, I'm going to make you do a little bit of outdoor investigation. Now, I can't put any cameras on the beach because it's a protected scientific reserve. But what I'm going to get you to do is to wander up through the gorge next to the lodge, because the gorge is the site of a lot of paranormal activity as well. And in fact, in the days when the Orpheus sunk, the bottom of the gorge used to be the shoreline.
This is part of the original homestead, and it was built by the Gibbons family when they were timber milling, of course, was the big thing in this area in 1860s and through until about 1930s.
They're some of the Gibbons family?
They are. They're the original people from this homestead.
Who's that? That must be Nicholas and Matilda.
They are.
Now, you think the Pink Lady, the apparition that people often see here, is a member of the Gibbons family?
I think so. I mean, certainly the person that I've experienced here has been older person, definitely female. My first experience was after we'd been here about 6 months, I suppose. And I came into this room, and there was definitely a woman in this room.
During the day? Because I haven't... People I've spoken to usually see apparitions or ghosts or whatever you want to call them at night, so she's obviously very comfortable with the place.
Well, twice in my time here, it's been daytime experience that I've had with her.
This shoot is one of the most technically challenging that we've done so far, simply because we've got such a large area to cover, and we're trying to do both exterior and interior as well. We've got something like over 20 cameras on this shoot. And I'm hoping it's going to be enough.
It's 1 o'clock on a day like this. The surf is light. Edward Wing sees the Orpheus coming in from Australia. He looks out and knows he has to signal this boat must take the outer channel. He runs down these cliffs. He gets a horse, rides across the island, runs up the island and puts a signal on that top there that says, take the far bar. But the charts on board are wrong. And within minutes, the Orpheus strikes the bar right out here. It's hopeless. It can't be saved. And by 4 o'clock, 189 sailors are dead. The boat is a total wreck by 6, and only the mast shows the next morning. It's the worst disaster in New Zealand's maritime history.
But there were a lot of souls obviously lost right here on this part of the... Yeah.
This is a coast of ghosts, I reckon. There was a lot of people dead here.
What I'm actually setting up here is an infrared surveillance camera, and the reason we use these is because normal light gives all sorts of anomalies in photographs and in video that, well, it's not necessarily paranormal activity, whereas with infrared, it sends out an invisible beam of light that reflects off surfaces and creates an image that is 100 times more powerful than the human eye.
Have you encountered any of your own sort of otherworldly or paranormal experiences out here?
I have one,
Right.
and I think it's worth telling. I came out with a mate one night about 15 years ago, and we just walked down the beach talking, and we came into an area where we could see massive surf, and we stood in front of that surf, and we couldn't hear it. Right. And both of us surf and swim, and so we know big waves make big sounds, yet we were in an absolute zone of silence. It was like standing in front of a great movie screen where we were watching something happen, but the sound wasn't turned on. And we asked a Māori guy who came out to do some filming a month later, and he said, you are simply in the highway of spirits. You are in a zone where spirits move up the coast to Cape Reinga, and you just simply got in it.
All right, guys, helmets on. Now, these are decked out with 2 cameras, one that shows your point of view, and the other one that swings around and points at your face so that we can see all the fear in your eyes.
Are you feeling calm?
No. No, but I will. I'll try my best to calm down. But no, I don't think so.
Strangely enough, I think I'm feeling more nervous than you because I've been up there and it's quite treacherous, so be safe and enjoy yourselves.
Cool.
That is such a nervous laugh. I'll see you very, very shortly as you walk through the fence, mate.
Copy that. Somewhere straight ahead of me is basically a huge big V. It's a gorge and it goes right up into the hills, up into the Waitakere Ranges. You get such a strong sense of the land here, but also at the same time, it's full of tragedy, bloodshed, and death.
Ah, charming. Creaky floors. People have been heard playing pool in the middle of the night, and there's actually been nobody in here, which is kind of strange.
I'm walking up to the Wharapu Gorge. The hikers that were walking up there felt some sort of eerie presence behind them. They got out their camera and they took a photo, and it had the sort of demonic mask that could be seen in the background. So I'm heading up to there now. Brad, can you hear me? I've just crossed the first stream.
When the Orpheus went down all those years ago, the beach went as far up as pretty much where you went through that fence. And the strange thing about that was they only ever found around about 50 bodies. And one would presume that a lot of those got washed up on shore and, you know, up into areas where you are right now.
Brad, you're cutting out, man. I can hardly hear you.
Now I'm about to head into the old homestead of the Gibbons. This is the lounge room here, and this is where the apparition of the Pink Lady has been seen a few times by the owners and people who've stayed. Funnily enough, actually, during the day, most of them. There's Nicholas and Matilda Gibbons. The thing is, it's children that quite often see the Pink Lady. She has an affinity with children, apparently. This is one of the guest bedrooms where she's also been spotted. Even a couple of weeks ago, actually. One of the little girls was staying here, set up a picnic table, you know how little girls have tea parties, and her mum came up and asked her who the other setting was for, and she said, the old lady that wanders around here. It's got such a sense of being, oh. I don't want to go down here. I just heard a door move. Oh, I feel like there's always something behind me in this place.
Now, there's a very sacred kauri tree just further up ahead that the local Māori used to use as like a fertility god, and apparently some white settlers chopped the kauri tree down, and it was said that the Māori, on hearing of this and knowing of this, they declared utu, or revenge, on the white settlers, and that was the very eve of the Orpheus disaster. So, payback.
This is room number 14. Now, in this room, a lady was staying here. She had a strange experience in this room, basically where she felt like she was being sucked in through time, and it started getting quite wavy around her. And it basically lasted for about 30 seconds, she said, where it just felt like she was being sucked into another era in time. 30 seconds is a long time. 1, 2, 3.
It's strange, it's really quite peaceful, but at the same time, you kind of feel that there's something watching you. Is there any spirit out there? Or anything out there that... Shh. I just heard something then. Is there anything out there? Is there anybody out there?
Carolyn, can you go back into the lodge if that's okay?
No. I don't want to.
I'm not asking, I'm telling.
Tell me why.
One of my remote thermometers just had a substantial temperature drop.
Oh, crap. Which part of the lodge?
Well, it seems to be around the pool table and the piano. Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, Brad, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, welcome back. Where you been?
I lost contact with everything for a while up there. I could feel there was a presence, but it didn't feel evil. It felt quite sort of calm. I'm just about to cross the last bit of stream and head back in.
Cool. I've got you back on camera now, so I can see you all the way back in.
Back in the kitchen. I really don't want to go in here. How come you... Oh, my God!
Are you okay? You right?
No.
That sounds like very nervous laughter. What's happening?
There's just movement over by the pool table. It's gone now.
What sort of movement was it?
I just heard sort of footsteps. But I can't see anything.
Have you got your camera on you? Can you take some photos?
Yep. Oh man, I always forget to breathe.
There's so many windows in here as well that the light reflects off, and I'm just freaking out about this.
Oh my God.
What was that?
Oh, shit, Anthony!
I want my mummy.
Morning.
Oh, you're looking a little sleepy, poor thing.
Now, Caroline, I hear you're a bit of a squealer. you came running out of the house last night squealing. What happened?
No, well, I was wandering around, and this pool cue that was leaned up against the pool table in that big dining room just fell. Nothing hit it. It just fell.
Shall I show you? This is really ghost hunting 101. Pure investigation, really.
Windows in here as well that the light reflects off, and I'm just freaking out about this. Oh my God.
And then you run like a girl.
Shit, I'm getting out of
That fell away from me.
I know. Isn't that the
And
strange
I didn't
thing?
touch it.
And also, if you think about it, and your backpack had have hit it, it would have dragged it towards you in the way you were going.
Yeah.
And it's just gone the other way. It's funny because people have spoken about hearing the pool balls clinking together, and then they go in there to see who's playing, and there's no one actually playing. So obviously a lot of activity happens around the pool table. And the very cool thing is that we had all these cameras set up, so we got your scream and run on tape. and I love the fact that, you know, you heard a noise and your initial instinct was to turn around and take a photo and investigate what that was. But no, you ran like a girl. Nice investigation.
You got a good scream and a swear word and an I want my mummy, and you're still complaining about a photograph.
And an object moving by itself, and he wants more.
I know, I'm a hard taskmaster.
I'm sorry.
Now, how did you feel up in the gorge?
The gorge was really interesting. It was jet black. Like, I mean, black as black, but of course, after a while, my eyes did get accustomed to it.
I'll show you a few photographs that you took. You took these on infrared mode on your camera.
Yeah.
This one's just a bit of a blur, but you can kind of make out a face in there. You know, if you sort of look at it hard
I
enough.
can see sort of a head with eyes and mouth and nose and profile.
Yeah, slightly profile, huh?
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next shot. That's just weird, isn't it?
That's really odd. But it's kind of grinning. I see a grin anyway. I don't see something too menacing there. Well, apart from the fact that it could possibly be
It's like a little gremlin.
Yeah.
Brad, how would something like this, I mean, it's obviously pitch black where you are, and even if it was the light from his helmet or the torch, it wouldn't put that much into one space in the middle of darkness, would it?
Well, this is on infrared. That's like 100 times more powerful than the human eye. So it picks up things that you would never have seen anyway. But yeah, it is remarkable that the rest of it is completely black, and then you just have this little ball in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's very consistent though with your talk about the spirits, and because all these photographs just seem very ethereal, very spiritual, which matches up to what everyone's been saying about the whole spiritual highway. Now, Caro, let's go back to you. Tell me about the Pink Lady.
Oh, well, she's the apparition that's seen most commonly around the lodge. And the funny thing is, she's been seen during the day.
Now, when you first walked into your room and sort of set your bags down, for some reason you took a photo in that room, which was during the day. Which is just a really odd anomaly in there that I can't work out, because there's obviously a lot of flare happening from an outside source, possibly the sun. But the flare...
It's almost like there's something standing in the window, but it's kind of see-through.
Yeah, but you wouldn't expect the flare to sort of, you know, overlap inside into the bedroom itself. And you can almost see a face in there, the nose and the eyes sort of looking in that way. And also the fact that it's pink.
It's pink, yeah, more than anything.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's decidedly pink.
In my room.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that might actually be the Pink Lady there? Was it Matilda Gibbons? Do you think that could be her?
I don't see what else it would be or who else it would be.
Well, well done, team. What do you say we close the book on Whārapu and go home and back to civilization?
It just speaks to you so strongly. The land, I mean, the noise of the ocean, the hills all around you. It's very strong. So to be posited out in the gorge like I was last night and sitting around with all those spirits, I guess I didn't see anything, but capturing it on film was pretty amazing.
Well, first of all, I can't believe that came up in the photo in my bedroom, but the lodge did always feel to me like someone was watching over it and making sure that it was run properly, and so I can understand why Matilda would want to check up on me as well.
Pink Lady is an interesting one. It's an amazing photograph, and it just surprises me that in ghost hunting you just never know what you're going to find at any particular moment, and I guess you always have to be on your toes.